5 of the Global Rugby Challenge, seen our first real big upset of the season when the Pacific Toa went down to Toulouse by a solitary single point last time they were out here. Today they've got to bounce back, and they've got to do it against one of the top teams in world rugby. It's the Crusaders at home, and they will go up against the Pacific Toa, who are now for the first ever time on a losing streak. Hello everyone and welcome back along to your home of rugby and the subscriber series, the Global Rugby Challenge, where you guys take on the world's elite and more often than not up against each other as well. Today it is the Crusaders up against the Pacific Toa, and this is where we get to see what this Toa team really are made of. They're up against the Crusaders, who are a much tougher prospect than the Toulouse team they lost to in round number 5. They're sitting 7th at the moment, the Crusaders, right smack bang, pretty much mid-table with a 3-win, 2-loss record so far. And when you look through it, they've done pretty well so far. They lost back to the Jaguares in round number 2, but recently it was a tough loss to the Flakers, 26-17 in round 4, but they bounced back nicely to take out a team in a very similar spot to them, Leinster, 11 points to 7. That is a very, very big win for this Crusaders team. This side has undergone very, very little change throughout the season, and what has been the biggest surprise is Mitchell Drummond, who will start in this team at scrum half. Again, in the backline, he'll partner Richie Moanga in the halves, and it will be Ryan Crotty, Jack Goodhue in midfield with George Bridge on the left wing, Sevi Reese on the right, and David Havili at fullback. It's a very talented looking forward pack as well. Moody, Taylor, Franks is an All Blacks front row, isn't it? With Barrett and Whitelock in All Blacks second row, and remember, this is off the 2019 champion team with Fetu Douglas, Matt Todd and Kieran Reid completing this very, very tough looking forward pack. How will the Toa get anything out of this team? It's hard to say. They've got a very good pack, a very good back line as well. Defensively, they're sound, and they have been tough to put away in seasons gone by. Why should tonight be any different? Well, now we get to see what this Pacific Toa team are really made of. They lost last time they went out. They lost for the first time, and a massive upset as well. They've beaten all the subscriber sides. They've done all the unthinkable tasks. But now they have also done one thing they would never have dreamt to have happened. They've lost to a bottom-dropping Toulouse side, and that will be the low point of their season regardless of what happens for the rest of the year. They did, however, take out the Celtic Dragons the round before that in round 4. They seem to be able to always do just enough to get the win. They still sit pretty as well, up in 3rd spot with a 4-win, just the 1-loss record, and they are still going to be a tough team to beat. But one loss can be the start of what they call the snowball effect. Will it turn into an avalanche, or will the Toa quickly mount that snowball and get back on the winning horse? We find that out tonight here at Canterbury Stadium. They've named a very, very strong team as well for tonight's matchup. Fetu Tipu will start on the loose side of the front row with Samisi, Lincoln, Atamai at hooker, and Sitaleki Kavalu on the tight head side. Zandre Lambrex will be in the second row alongside Ryan Webb, and will be Conrad Femby, Tama Bailey, and Ross Cameron to complete the forward pack. Captain Jim Gino will run things from number 9 with Henko Fiat in the fly half jumper. Dean Mumberg, the experience, will take over at inside centre with Tom Barrett at 13, leaving no place for Bob Jeffrey, who has been instrumental in this team so far this season. Fatu Fulafisi will be on the left wing with Max Hansen on the right-hand side, and Daryl Gray will fill the number 15 jumper, which has been a very, very interesting position for the Toa. We've seen great performances from players back there, and Daryl Gray will look to add another name to that strong performances list. Do the Toa bounce back here today, or do the Crusaders add to the misery? We find out over the next 80 minutes. So we are all set for kickoff here as the Crusaders, of course, at home in the red and black. They are known as the red and black machine. It's no wonder why this team produces continuously as we get the game underway. The Toa receiving in the white kits, and they are quickly off the mark as well. Hansen, double right hand wing, Max Hansen, the dummy. Hansen will go in the 22, and Max Hansen, what a start for the Toa. They couldn't have dreamt of anything better than that. Unbelievable. Straight off the kickoff, straight to the right wing, straight in for the try. Max Hansen, welcome along to Canterbury Stadium. That was ridiculously good by the Toa. And how do you stop this team? They love scoring tries, and they've shown that intent right from the start. Max Hansen. Did anyone else even touch the ball? I'm pretty sure it was taken down. There was one or two passes before Hansen took it away, and then he scoots down the right, beats Havili with the dummy, and it's goodbye, good night, see you later, thanks for coming, 5-0, Toa. And we talked a little bit about bounce back ability in the intro, and I tell you what, this team seems to have it in spades, absolute spades. 7-0 the score, Toa lead the Crusaders, and that is a start that has put this Canterbury franchise instantly on the back foot. Richie Moanga, back underway we go. He goes pretty much the safe spot as well. Sucker for punishment. This time Fire knocks it on. It was well taken in too from the Toa, but this time it's pulled in and dragged back, and a turnover as well. But Tama Bailey's good work will not be rewarded. It'll go back to the knock on from Fire, and the first scrum of the match is a big tackle. Richie Moanga chasing hard. Mitchell Drummond wrapped up there from Bailey. And the poor little scrum half was not getting that ball back at all. Speaking of him, Mitchell Drummond, great scrum too from the Crusaders. Reed at the back, it's passed out to Moanga, runs to the line, double cut-out pass straight out to Zebra Reese, and he takes on the defensive effort to full offensives who smashes him to ground pretty abruptly as well. Short one, finding Douglas, they keep it tight as well as Kieran Reid gets hit heavy as he hits the offload from his number 6 Douglas. Now pick and go, finding room for the middle once again as the big boys do the job. Todd into Moanga, offloading to Franks, and Franks is taken down in midfield again. This is a turnover. Ross Cameron, the man of the moment this time. Can the Toa hang on? This is good work at the defensive end for the Crusaders. Drummond, how wide it goes. 7 Reeds, one to be, full of fixes again. Turnover ball and kicked away from Daryl Gray. Straight to the hands of an offside penalty on Jack Goodhue, the offside Toa defence. Dragging him back, here's Reed. Moanga out wide, Drummond cuts it back in field to Todd. And on the 10-metre line with advantage on their side, here's Moody. Big Joe Moody going for a run, putting Whitelock down to Bridge. Little tip over top from George Bridge. That could have been interesting. That really could have been interesting. So they take the 3 here, the Crusaders. It's 7-0. Still very early on in this matchup, and no surprise, the experienced captaincy of Kieran Reid will slow things down, and they'll have a look at the first 3 points for the home side. Richie Moanga makes no mistake about that one either. Straight between the uprights, straight up. 3 points for the Crusaders. It's 7-3. Pacific Toa lead by 4, with a good little reply there from the Crusaders. Well, the thing is, with this Crusaders side, if you give them opportunity, you give them time to get in good field position, they are going to take points back. And that's what we just seen there. But turning it over now is the Toa. Jim Alexino, pick and go. Isolated, close to the breakdown, but gets some friends there. Ryan Webb, short it goes to Cameron. Now they look out wide. Nice play from Webb again, getting it nice to Max Hansen, looking for 2. Hansen into the 22. Good run there from the right winger. Waiting now is Fenby. Straight to Mumberg. Mumberg! Splitting defences. Nice work from Cavallo, getting the ball quickly out wide to Cameron! And Ross Cameron scores! Big pressure out wide from Ross Cameron. He was running free. Watch it start here from Fenby. Dean Mumberg created the illusion of space, and then it was through the hands out wide. It was great work from Sileki Cavallo to fire the ball out there. It all started here from Fenby. Mumberg, short, there's Cavallo. Huge pass out wide. And I think it was Samixi Lincoln Atamai who eventually fed that last pass to his number 8 and strong ball carrier Ross Cameron to bulldoze his way over. Great try, second of the game for the Toa. Like we've already spoken about, the ability of this team to create chances and to score tries. It's the real asset they have. They love to put over the 5-pointers. And we're seeing that in full display here tonight against the Crusaders. 25 minutes gone. It is 14 points to 3. Still plenty of time to go on this one for the home team. It's underway we go again, and Tom Barrett takes the ball down and nicely finds Dyard as well as he rumbles up the field out of his 22 as well. Jim Aligino waits. Short side opportunity here for Aligino. Can't get away. Good tackle coming across there. Scott Barrett. Femby. Oh, he's got nicely later. Barrett again. Tom Barrett up to halfway, but he's driven backwards. Good defence by the Crusaders to tunnel over. A backwards defender taking that one away. And now the kick to the corner from Crotty. Ryan Crotty with a good kick. And on the line will be full of feces. The pressure there from the Crusaders' chase has created a massive opportunity now for the home team. Cody Taylor the throw. Lincoln Adamai right there on pressure. Barrett and Drummond fires out to Goodhue. Quickly out through Moanga. Out to George Bridge. Way out on the touchline. An easy scamper in for Bridge. And the reply has finally come by the Crusaders. It's a try freezy. We've got 3 on the board plus a penalty. Easy, simple play. Drummond to Goodhue. Running inside, there was Richie Moanga, way out of his position. First receiver, way out at second receiver, in the position of what you'd normally expect your outside centre to be in. And there he was first. Beautiful cutout pass. Ryan Crotty was the decoy. He wasn't required at all, but he kept that defence just a little bit more narrow than it needed to be. And that gave the room for George Bridge to scamper down the sideline and hit back at the tower. Well, they could go to double figures here, thanks to that penalty from Moanga earlier in the match. Conversion from the sidelines is perfect. Now we have a 4-point ball game yet again. It's 14 points to 10. The Toa lead, but the Crusaders are showing that ability themselves to get those tries. We are nearing our way to half-time now. Just 5.5 minutes to go till the break as Henko Whaiā gets us back underway with a deep kick down into the Crusaders 22. And Sam Whitelock is picked up and driven backwards straight off the kickoff. And the Toa putting pressure on the breakdown here, towing the ball back. Aligino, Ransford switches play back to left-hand side, and Timmer Bailey has a bit of a rumble to the left hand of the uprights. Aligino back to Whaiā, dropped on his hand from Henko Whaiā. It's good. That was simple, that was easy. And that is another 3 points to the tally for the Pacific Tower. Well, it was planned, it was calculated, and it was easy to execute. Whaiā just left the breakdown, and he just pops it over. Easy position for a right-footed player, and just definitely struck it over. Back to halfway we go. More points on the board for the Tower. It is 17 points to 10, and that difference of now 7 points makes it a try required as Whaiā gets the ball back, and he just drills this into touch. Out on the forward won't matter, because we're up to half-time. As soon as that buzzer went, the Toa were more than able and more than happy to kick to the corner. It is half-time, 17-10. Let's have a look at the tally of the half-time stat sheet, and look at it. It's all Toa, isn't it? 68% of possession, 54% of territory, one-way traffic in those regards, but line breaks is close, 5-3. It is the Crusaders showing they can play the game as well. The Toa need to keep that pressure up if they're going to take the cookies in this big round 6 clash. Henko Whaiā ended the first half, and he will kick off the second with another deep kick down to Drummond, who finds quickly Bridge, and Bridge takes on the ability of Max Hansen who gets a penalty. Oh yes, what a start by the Toa on defence. Bridge with some room, one-on-one defensive work against Hansen, and he draws a penalty as well. Oh, big decision here from Jim Aligino. It was an easy 3 on offer, straight off the kickoff as well. He couldn't be a better time to kick 3 points, but they have opted for the corner, and they've got it about 8 metres short, and it goes from Lincoln Atamai. Aligino throws it into midfield as they run it bang to Lamprecht, back so it goes through Tipu, and eventually to ground it goes from Kavalu. Now here he is, the big man, Speaksy, Lincoln Atamai! Oh, he's pricked it, he's gone, and he's over! Oh, the decision of Jim Aligino was justified in a flash. 2 phases, and they've got the try, the Toa. Samiksi Lincoln Atamai, the hooker, has done the hard work. Conrad Femby got them close, 5 metres short. Lincoln Atamai picks it up, takes on poor Richie Moanga, and he drags him over the line. Wherever I go, he says, you're coming with me. Fitu Tipu, Industrial to get them to that position. Oh, but you've got to look at players there. Fitu Douglas and Owen Franks. You've got to do better. You've got to do a lot better defensively. You can't watch a man like Samiksi Lincoln Atamai just run past you that close to the line. He's big, he's strong, and he goes all the way. 22-10, the scoreboard now reads as the conversion is over. Another successful kick from Henko Fayas, and the Toa are cruising home now with a big lead by 14 points over the Crusaders. Is there a way back here for the home team? Richie Moanga, back underway he goes. Another pretty deep kick here, finding Barrett, who gets a great kick away. Takes the ball down, beats one defender, kicks it long, deep into Crusaders territory. Huge chase there! And Seven Reeks under pressure instantly. 10 out from his own line, Mooney to Franks. And they are under massive pressure now. The Crusaders, they could lose if they do. Back to Elisino, he runs. Cameron, one ball to Hansen, one to beat the ankle tap. Hansen can't get away. Great defensive work there by the Crusaders. Elisino again, runs to the defensive line, takes on Moanga. He gets within 4 metres of the line. Now we go. It's wide. Out to Hansen again for the corner. No! Oh, Max Hansen and George Bridge. What a matchup that is. This time, George Bridge the victor. He is forced into touch, and it is a line out to Taylor and the Crusaders, just a few metres from their own line. Whitelock drags it in, and they look to more, but the Toa are equal to the task. Franks pops it back inside, and average play there from the Crusaders. Cody Taylor gets a metre or two. Here is again Whitelock. Back to Barrett. Now they're finding room. Whitelock again up out the 22. And he goes all the way to Daryl Gray. Douglas. Oh, George Bridge! What a play! Bridge finds a hole! Bridge goes straight through it! And Bridge will score! Back for the Crusaders! Try number 2. Oh, that is rugby smarts if I've ever seen him. He put himself in that position, put himself right on that line, right where the defence hadn't really structured itself. Barrett was defending around the breakdown. He's not one who's supposed to be there. They were never structurally sound, the Pacific Toa. They were never set. They were put way too much dedication on that breakdown. They never got their defensive line in order at all, and there was nothing they could do about it. Daryl Gray out of the play, taken out by Whitelock. And how clever is George Bridge. Too clever for the Toa on this occasion. What a try that is though, and it brings them right back in this game now. 24-15, kicks it come from Moanga, who slots it. No problem at all from Richie Moanga. And we've got a 7-point ball game back on our footsteps again. 24-17. The Toa led by as much as 14 throughout this match, but they've never been able to make it stick. Underway we go again. Henko Fire goes high, and it is Owen Franks that catches it in for the Crusaders. Here is Whitelock running and deceiving the defence here with a good little play. And it's turned over. Oh, Dean Mumberg. Back it goes to Barrett. Oh, another top goal. Tom Barrett puts it over. Oh, the hero for the Toa. Tom Barrett at outside centre puts another claim to a very impressive midfield partnership. Bob Jeffrey has done so well alongside Dean Mumberg, but look out, here comes Tom Barrett. Quick as a flash. 3 points added for the Toa, and now the lead is back out to 10. High one to the left side by Richie Moanga, and it's Dean Mumberg who beats out about 3 or 4 players to pull that in. Here's Ryan Webb. Passes and second line to Femby, and now they break straight through the middle of the park again. Room out wide for Hansen. Tries to take on Bridge, but it's got away to Tama Bailey. Bailey getting away, no! Great chase from David Harvey. Saves the Crusaders bacon yet again. Now they run it back. Out into midfield, Ryan Crotty. Crotty runs. Crotty gets taken down. Just short of the 10-metre line, the Toa get right in there. Full of feces, the man to take the credit now of that turnover. Here's Mumberg offloading. Fetu Tipu. Just short of the 22, now the Toa. Bailey goes short and great run there from Kavalu, keeping it alive as well. Lambrex quickly gets into the action. Here's Ali Gino. Short it goes to Ross Cameron. Offloads icy. Tom Barrett. Oh, he's done it again. Tom Barrett anywhere near the uprights. He will saw you 3 points. That is ridiculous from Tom Barrett. He was ankle tapped after the kick. Tom Barrett, the hero. And the Pacific Toa now lead by 13. 2 converted tries required in less than 6 minutes for the Crusaders. Back underway we go, down to the hero. Tom Barrett himself is munched, absolutely crunched by Kieran Reid. Wide from Mumberg, finding Lambrex, out to full of feces. Back it goes to Webb, and Femby has another run, does the flanker. Oh, turnover ball, wide Seven Reese, one to me, back to Drummond, Drummond inside ball to Reid. Reid is absolutely hammered as well. Daryl Gray at the back, having a monster of the game defensively. Franks needs to score. Franks goes alone and full of feces, pulls him down, and they are all over that ball, the Toa. Will they win it back? They might. I think they will. This'll be it. Time is almost up. Back it goes to Thiard, and Henko Thiard sends the Toa fans into raptures. This is a big win. This is a really committed win by the Pacific Toa. They were put under pressure by the Crusaders, but Tom Barrett, where is he? There he goes. The man with the sleeves. He has been heroic tonight for the Pacific Toa. 2 drop goals really have been the crown and glory for the Toa. You see him at the bottom. He's been the man of the moment. 2 tries for George Bridge, 2 conversions for Richie Moanga, and as well as a penalty goal for Moanga. 3 tries for the Toa. They out-tried them and they out-kicked them. Sabisi linking that to my Ross Cameron and Max Hansen with 1 apiece. Henko Thiard 3 conversions, and of course Thiard with 1 drop goal, and it was Tom Barrett with the 2. Well, have a look at these stats. Toa dominated this game, but they just about couldn't get the Crusaders enough away from them to put it home. 3 drop goals, that'll do the job. They were committed here tonight, the Toa, and they have been desperate to fight back from that loss. Well, fight back from that loss is exactly what they've done as well. 30 points to 17. What a game between the Toa and the Crusaders. That scoreline really doesn't represent how that match went between those 2 teams. That was a great performance by the Crusaders, but it was just that last quarter of the game when Tom Barrett come alive. They got that last try at the Toa, and it just built, like we talked about at the start, the snowball effect can easily work against you, but tonight for the Toa, it worked in their favour. A little bit of confidence, a little bit of a breathing space, and that was enough to get them the win. Other matches have happened around the ground as well. The Leinster have taken out Clermont in a big way. We've seen the All Flakes over Toulouse. The Flakers took out Saracens. Dragons just over the Guardians, and of course Jaguares over the Glasgow Warriors was the full round of fixtures from round 6. First up in round 7 will be the Exeter Chiefs hosting the Celtic Dragons. We have 5 subscriber teams versus AI matches, so make sure you look out for those coming your way as well. Okay, so checking out the table, we can see it is the Toa who have moved now above the Jaguares, who have taken their bye, so they're still only on 5 matches, and they are the only undefeated side. You can see for the Flakers, it is the fact they have 5 bonus points that is putting them nicely up that leaderboard, 2 points ahead of the Pacific Toa with a very similar record. Only difference is they have 2 more bonus points. Leinster sit in 4th position. They are going to be tough to put away. You saw the Crusaders beat them in round 5 as well, so that is a really, really tough top 7, 8, 9 teams. To be completely fair, let's be also very fair and say Toulouse are a team that can upset even the very, very best. The Dragons are in 5th, the Guardians 6th, Crusaders, Glasgow and the All Flakes make up 7, 8 and 9. The All Flakes need more wins and they need it fast, but keep in mind they've had the bye. And as we look at this right now, we can see a good representation as to who's had the bye and who hasn't. The Jaguares, they've had the bye, as have the Guardians, have had the All Flakes, Clermont, Exeter, and Saracens as well. So there's a lot of big table-topping teams still to have their bye. And yes, of course, next up will be the opening game of round 7. The Celtic Dragons will be on the road to take on the Exeter Chiefs. That should be an exciting match. The Chiefs, though, really haven't troubled anyone this season so far. Hope to see you all there for that match-up, and thank you all for tuning in to today's game as well. I'll see you for that round 7 game very, very soon. But until then, thanks for tuning in and watching. Hope you're enjoying the series so far. Good bounce back by the Toa, and I'll see you all next time. Until then, take care.